All right, here we go. May 20th, 2023? Is it still 2023? I don't know. I guess so. This is a short, well, I don't know how short it's going to be, but it's a poor man's dharma talk. This isn't gonna be like good old Alan Watts or anything like that, but I figure shit, it's late at night and my brain is kind of moving. So I'm gonna take a crack at it. Um Everyone get your popcorn, Twizzlers, whatever you have. Get comfortable and get ready. I guess this talk, you know, is going to be about the primary elements in space as an element. So, before we get started, I just want to give a quick word, I guess, or a thing to say that Jim Brown, legendary football star, actor, activist. He died at 80 something today, and yeah, say what you will about Jim. He was a cool guy. I saw some of his movies as a kid, and whatever he was, I never met the guy or whatever, but clearly he wasn't gonna be somebody's product or project, and he thought for himself, and I thought you know he did a good job of expressing how he felt about stuff. He was on talk shows and stuff in the in about the 80s or so. I remember seeing him on some talk shows, and he was a cool guy. So it's sad, but I salute Jim and the spirit that animated him, and thumbs up. We need more people like Jim Brown. Just across the board. That'd be really helpful. Anyways, before I get started, I wanna try to get my brain in the right space and give you an opportunity to get your brain in the right space. So we're gonna pause for a couple of seconds and just manage our thoughts and try to focus our attention on what's going on. And I'm gonna ring this little singing bowl and pause for a minute and just take the time to calibrate your brains and all of the stuff going on in your mind. And I'll do the same, and hopefully we'll have a decent chat that there won't be too many pauses, or I won't get derailed on the train of thought. Anyways, here goes. All right, let's get down to it. Space and the four elements. What you have is you've got earth, wind, water, fire, and space are ether, which is a kind of controversial term, ether, but I would say it's it's a thing that exists. But, are you gonna find an ether machine or something like that? I don't know. Maybe. Maybe somewhere. Anyways, everything that you are, everything that you aren't, everything around you is composed of these elements. I mean, that's kind of a fact, you know. Everything is kind of a interplay of these five elements. And when you really look at it, space is everywhere. There's the space that things take up, the space outside of things, the space in between things. Space can be an aspect of time. Space can be an excess of thought in the mind and thought forms and all of that. It is what it is. Space or ether, it's, I mean, there's lots of things going on with the sun and stars, but I guess it's safe to say that the sun emanates energy and it takes up space. And there's also a time aspect in the sun. There's a time aspect in bodies in motion in space. There's a time aspect in your physical body. There's a time aspect outside of your physical body. There's a time aspect in how you think, thoughts, and what thoughts might come and go, and all of that. There's there's an earth aspect in your bones, in your teeth, and in your bloodstream too. There's an earth aspect. There's an air aspect. There's a fire aspect. All these things are, it's a kind of science. Some people will tell you Well, that's all some weird superstitious mumbo jumbo, but I'm here to tell you that's the reality of the situation. You can break things down to different kind of subvariants, but what you have is the five elements. Even in even in the kind of emotional body, there are these characteristics of the five elements. Then, in Buddhism they talk about the five dhyani or nyorai Buddhas representing the five elements. And I don't know. I've experienced that. I mean, when I was a kid, I didn't know anything about that. But I experienced it very vividly. I can remember being outside and feeling the sun on my face and on my cheek, smelling the air, watching clouds of dust rise up as I run or walk in a park or even a school playground. It it was looking back on it seemed a lot more vivid, and of course over the years I've been slowly losing sight because of just a physical condition. But I can still remember how that stuff looked. I definitely remember how it feels. And what I would, you know, um, just for me, what I would suggest for a lot of people who are having a rough time of it lately, go outside once in a while. Or if that's not an option, if you're just too busy and, ooh, look out, gotta get the iPhone, gotta work that iPhone, go to the kitchen, get a glass, pour a cup of cold water into the glass, and, take a sip and slowly drink it. Think about what you're doing while you're drinking it. Think about the water. Think about how it feels in your mouth, how it feels going down. Like really focus on it. And it's that one's not a hard thing to do. Just to pause and to have a glass of water. And be grateful for that moment that you have drinking that water. Cause it's in you. It's a part of you. It's becoming a part of you. We're inseparable from these things. I know it seems like I don't know. I don't know what people have going on in their head, but it's not some far out thing. It's not a pill. It's but I'm here to tell you It's a real experience. Another real experience is just taking off your shoes. It can be in the morning. Just take off your shoes. Just walk into the yard without your shoes. Feel the particles of dirt on your feet and recognize that it's a part of you. You're a part of it. Countless people have walked on that dirt. Plants have grown. The sun, it travels. It shines on those things. It rains, and that stuff becomes all muddy. It's a natural cycle. It's not a natural thing just to sit in a in a concrete box for days and days and weeks and months and years. That can be a scary thing. It becomes not as scary as if you just come up with a few little protocols for disconnecting from the whole internal dialogue and the scenarios that people have going in their head, even the scenarios that you have going in your head. Just stop and analyze them for a while. It's like, what is this stuff? But that's I'm not a I'm a Zen practitioner, but you know, on a bad day, I can't even tell you the difference between Rinzai Zen and Soto Zen, because for me, and I'm not trying to criticize people or anything, but you know, it's it's a good thing, and I'm not saying it's something bad, but it's a good thing if you can eat a organic diet and a vegetarian diet even. That's great. And it helps. But if you're not mindful that everything is affecting everything constantly and actions have consequences, words have consequences, even to a degree thoughts have consequences. So try to steer your mind toward healthier things. It's, try to do that. It's If you can't eat a vegetarian diet, that's fine. I probably won't. I mean, I like chewing on the animals and stuff, and I'll have a beer. And, you know, it's it's it is what it is. I focus really hard and try to see things. I'm trying to see things with the eye of compassion. And it's not easy. It's a tough thing to focus on when everything is the way it is in this world we're facing every day. But if you can do that, I think that's worth a lot more than at this time than having an organic meal. Recognize that things have an organic nature. Everything has a, excuse me, everything has an essential nature. Oh, my brain is kind of going off. But, you can have a an experience with all the elements. You can do that. It's a possibility. I mean, that's out there for you. But there's not. It's not gonna. I haven't found, and I don't know of a dhyana or Zen pill that you're just gonna take and you're gonna just okay. I'm in a Zen state. I can tell you there is a Zen state. There's all kinds of states. It's at the end of the day, there's a kind of magnetic nature to the mind, thoughts, and experiences. I mean, that's just what it is. I know that sounds all wacky and sounds like something you'd hear on Oprah, but there's a magnetic nature to the elements. There's a magnetic nature to people, personalities, all of that. There's a magnetic nature to the bodies in space, like the stars and whatnot. And there's a natural rhythm to these things. Over time, coherence can be lost. Natural rhythm can be lost. But with effort, you can you can find it again. I mean that's what it boils down to, time and effort. I don't me personally, I don't know if there's some perfect world, perfect place where everything is just good forever. Are there some horrible world, horrible place where everything is just pain and suffering forever? It's, for me, when you focus on that kind of a thing, it can become a kind of crucifixion of the psyche upon the idea of some permanent state. I don't know. You know, I is uh, is it out there? Maybe, maybe not. I know I've experienced good stuff and I've experienced bad stuff. Most of all, I've experienced time, and I've been able to put forth somewhat of an effort towards things, and eventually, over time, they don't stay the same. Eventually, but are you just gonna just take a pill or pop a mushroom or smoke a weed, and then that's gonna just fix it, and you're just gonna be in some permanent happy state? Nope. You know, even if there was some drug like you were just hopped up on psilocybin mushrooms every day, would it really be helpful to you, or would it be helpful to other people? Because at a point you become like too enhanced, you know. Even if you are experiencing some great amazing thing, can you share it with everyone else, or how is it going to affect everyone else? But I don't know. Hey, if you ask me, the weed, the shrooms and shit, it beats the hell out of pharmaceutical drugs. But that's just my take on it. I wouldn't recommend it. I'll tell you this, you know, I've experienced Zen states, meditative states, when I was a little kid, like 5, 6, whatever, just walking around, doing whatever, taking a shower, sleeping. Oh, sleep. That's a doozy of a thing. That's dreams and sleep can kind of run the gamut for what you'll experience and what you'll find, and you'll never be the dream. I hate to steal something from Osho because it's Osho, and I don't know about that guy. But you won't be the dream. But make note of it. You've got your whole life to make note of the dreams. So, if one really if one really hits your heart, just make a note of it. But, the pill people, I don't know. I understand people need pills, but all of this stuff, it's all becoming this big Frankenstein's monster. And eventually people are going to have to learn to find a better way of doing things, or at least entertain the idea of doing things in a maybe a different way. Then you have the guys that are like the mindfulness people, and I'm not really a. I mean, I am a mindfulness person, but I'm not a. I'm not like a. This is a mindfulness group, or I'm having a mindfulness event. Mindfulness is something you do and you work on and you make note of every moment. I don't know. We all have a lot going on in our minds. We have the internal stories. We have the external stories that people and institutions superimpose on us. At the end of the day, you've got to make the choice of where you want to go, what you want to be magnetized towards. And, if something if something seems like not healthy for you and putting you in like not a good place, you can always disconnect from it. Even if other people don't understand or don't get it, it's maybe they'll get it over time. But sometimes the best course of action is you're not going to be able to fix it. Just do your best. Try to be there for the people in your life. And, just try to project positivity and try every now and then to sprinkle that into crappy situations. It it helps over time. If somebody sees you doing it, maybe they'll figure out in a way that's what you do, or that's what you've done, or that's what you're doing. Maybe they'll do it eventually with someone. Because I don't think a lot of this shit is just gonna get fixed by like one person. It's gonna have to be a collective effort and a collective agreement that, hey, you know what, we got to do something here. I'm not here to tell you what you should believe in. I'm not even here to catapult the things I believe in. I'll tell you if you ask me. I'll tell you to the best of my ability. That's why I figured, I'd take a shot at the whole five elements thing, because it's that whole idea. It helped me out a lot. I'm not a I'm not an expert on Vedanta or Hinduism or anything, but in Hinduism you have the Hindu trinity of the three deities: Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. And basically, when you break that down, you can break that down to creation, birth, life, and the sustaining factor, and destruction or disintegration or death. And at the end of the day, we're all going to experience those things, and we're all experiencing those things. And it's rough, it's hard times sometimes. I don't know. I don't know what it's gonna. I know what it's like to be alive. I can't remember what it was like being born, and I don't know what it's gonna be like to die. But I'm not gonna quote a David Bowie song. But whatever my death is, I hope that I hope that at the end of the day, and I don't even have to hope. I know, looking back on it, I'm glad that I didn't die in my 20s or in my 30s, because no matter what happens at this point, I think I'll have a better time dying. And it won't be, will it be a perfect moment? There's a song, the perfect moment by uh Hyde, who is a visual K musician in Japan. And it's a song about dying. It's not really a sad song necessarily, because it's like he's happy in this moment. And you can be happy in the moment. I don't I don't think I don't even think you have to necessarily pop a bunch of drugs to die and be happy in a moment and be grateful for the things you've experienced, the people you've experienced. I don't know. Maybe that's me. Maybe I'm just, you know, doing whatever it is I do. But it's hey, we're all gonna do it. I want everyone. I want everyone to have a good productive life and enjoy life and celebrate it while they can. Cuz I don't know what it's going to be like in the future. And if you can, try try not to mess up things so bad that it's going to take like 20 or 30 generations to fix it. Try to tell people stories and things that'll help them. Things that help you. Or if you're a artistic person, try to create something that speaks to speaks to not only you, but and don't try to like create something that speaks to like, oh, I'm targeting these people. Try to speak to the things that are relatable, like the elements inside of you that are the elements inside of other people. Because, people say cheesy catchphrases like, I am you and you are me, and that just confuses people even more. Basically, it's a gooey world. We're all composed of these elements, and there's stuff in you that's in me. There's stuff in me that's in you, you know. A little piece of you, uh, a little piece in me. It's, it is whatever it is. But the main thing is, these things are constantly affecting us. I could go into some diatribe about ghosts and disembodied entities and all of that jazz, but whether whether any of that shit exists or whether it doesn't exist, can't we all just agree that there are primary elements? Can we all just get along? But, I don't know. It's like, I'm not trying to sell you on anything, dude, but we're all, we're all a combination of these things, and we all have our own personal stories and things that have affected us. You know, whether you've had a past life or whether you haven't had a past life, you know, you even though even if that's just some kind of a mad fantasy that you've had a past life, the mad fantasy is affecting you. So make note of it. Sometimes you don't want to ignore things or just go, this isn't possible, to the point where you end up in these kind of emotional or energetic prisons. And it can happen to anyone, dude. I'm not targeting anyone. It can happen to you. No matter what your belief system is, it can happen to you. It's a matter of magnetics, you know. At the end of the day, there's a whole lot of shit going on, and that's space, There's there was there's an old book about atomic energy called Worlds Within Worlds, and you know, for me, you know where I'm where I'm coming from in my mind, that's that's the reality, that there are worlds within worlds, and they affect us. They they're constantly affecting us. Whether if if you want to see that as the spirits of your ancestors, or elementals, or space aliens, or bodies in the sky like Jupiter and Mars and Venus and whatever. The shit is affecting us. I don't know how blatant it has to be at this point in this world, in this industrialized United States of America. Are there people that are aware of these facts and that are manipulating people? I would say yes. I'm not going to tell you who they are or who they aren't, but just be aware, be vigilant. And like I say, have a glass, have a glass of water sometime. And I mean, really have the glass of water. When I was a kid and I would run uh, outside during PE or whatever, you would get really thirsty and you would run to the water fountain after PE, and you would take a long gulp from it, and it's like there was a time where you could really feel the water going into you after you're really thirsty. And I think people need to take a moment, try to spark up a relationship with water, spark up a relationship with fire, earth, air. Go outside and feel the sun on them and know that you're a part of space, and that there is a etheric nature to the physical world. And that's about it for me. The intro song was Lizard by Kiyoharu. I thought that would be fitting. It's sometimes you feel like a lizard, and we all have that lizard nature to us, but you don't want to be full lizard 24/7. That's not a good thing for you and the people around you in the environment. Anyways, I hope I hope you enjoy this. I hope you get something out of it. I hope you enjoyed a wacky art picture that I'll post with it. And if you clicked on this, thanks. Thanks for giving me your time. And I hope I gave you something to think about. Bye for now, and happy trails!